A scale-up. We're not a startup anymore, but we're not a large company. We're a scale-up company, but we have a global footprint. Our headquarters is in France, near Paris, where we have our first manufacturing plant. We opened the second manufacturing plant in Canada, in Sherbrooke. So we have a pretty big team in Sherbrooke. We announced in October the opening of our offices in Chicago, in the US. Of course, we have a presence in Saudi Arabia through the partnership with Saudi Aramco, so we have a team there. And also in October, we announced the opening of a partnership with LG Electronics for Korea. And now we are extremely excited to come to India and see what we can bring. So that was your question, what we can bring to India. Well, first of all, we think we can bring the connections to the ecosystems of Europe, Canada, North America, Saudi Arabia, and Korea. We really look forward to making those connections. Of course, you have some of those already, but we look forward to strengthening those. And what we proposed for the Amaravati Quantum Valley is a mid to long-term plan where we would start from day one focusing on software and applications development, because this is where the value lies today. Of course, the value lies in hardware, and Andhra Pradesh is totally correct to focus on hardware, but that will take a little bit of time. So we're planning on bringing one of our computers to Andhra Pradesh, into the Amaravati Quantum Valley, as soon as we have the possibility to develop hybrid algorithms. So we would like a GPU infrastructure to be in place in order to leverage the classical and the quantum infrastructure. And then, of course, maybe most importantly for Andhra Pradesh, we look forward to working with the whole ecosystem to develop the supply chain on software and on hardware. I will stop here.
Thank you, Roberto. So while IBM brings the superconducting technology, Pascal brings a neutral atom technology, which is also going to come to Amravati. So we hope Pascal will open their office soon. And India will be joining joining few countries where we will have quantum computers of multiple technologies together, and that is happening with Amravati as the epicenter. And so the session is about Atmanirbhar. So it is not about doing all alone. It's also about bringing partners like Pascal, IBM, etc. together and do even bigger things. And that is what we are trying to do here. We'll now move to Devrup ji. Devrup ji, we've been tracking the developments that are happening globally. So what kind of use cases are being built across the world, and what are the things that are happening in India? And this is extremely important for the state of Andhra Pradesh, because there's a massive skilling program that is going on, and the children are very much excited about the kind of use cases that they would like to work on. Could you highlight some of these things, please?
Thanks, Sridhar. First of all, I would like to compliment the state of Andhra Pradesh for its vision in quantum technology, for releasing the policy, being probably the first state to do that. Before I specifically come to your point on use cases and what it means and what can be done, probably take a step back. If we look at quantum and how it has evolved over the last few years, it's a technology, everyone is saying it's in a nascent stage, but something which is very important. And I would probably take a step forward and say in the next 5 to 10 years, it's a technology which would probably define sovereignty of countries, sovereignty of economies. I would not want my data to be compromised in any way by any other ecosystem, etc. And that's the importance quantum has. If you look at investments globally over the last few years, probably most of it has been in US, in China, and in some parts of Europe, in some parts of Southeast Asia, etc. And this step taken by Andhra Pradesh government to bring in investment in Amravati is a very definitive moment in the country, something which is important. The policy, another good part of the policy dovetails into the National Quantum Mission, and it doesn't try to create something very different from what is there. So the moment you have a policy at a central level looking at $1 billion investment and a policy at a state level and these two dovetailing together, you create an ecosystem which is very important. Coming to the use cases, and use cases are there across different sectors. You look at healthcare and pharma. Any space where you have a significant amount of data which needs to be analyzed and which needs to be analyzed very quickly, you have a definite use case for using quantum computers, because traditional conventional computing would take significantly more time to analyze and give you result than a quantum computer. So if I'm looking at pharma research, I'm looking at drug discovery, I'm looking at clinical trials, then having quantum computing may be able to cut down my timeline for a new drug discovery from years to a significantly lesser amount of time. Similarly, if I look at financial services, for the amount of frauds which can happen, financial services, I would want my data to be secure, to be encrypted. Once again, a significant use case for quantum computer. Similarly, you look at any other place, whether it's climate, I have significant data of weather, of monsoon, tied up with agriculture, tied up with crop patterns, tied up with my soil chemical data. All of it together, when you analyze, and you can analyze large amount of data coming in from different ecosystems very quickly, there is significant value add. So all of these are important use cases, and the last part which I would like to say is all of it requires talent. And Sridhar, you spoke about young people being excited about it. And we saw in the policy there's significant focus on how do you nurture this talent. Because all of it would need skilled people to be able to deliver on whether it's your algorithms, whether it's on manufacturing, or whether it's creating these use cases. So all of it together would definitely be a driving part in this search.
Thank you so much, sir. So quantum computers will offer exponential speedups or quadratic speedups for most of the applications, and that's what we will harness with this one. And now imagine we have superconducting and neutral atom based computers available, so you can augment them with CPU and GPU, accelerate AI like anything. With that, we'll move to Satyanarayana Garu, who is a great supporter of Amaravati Quantum Valley, and a lot of work is happening at IIT Tirupati. Sir, you are working on atomic clocks at your organization, and then a lot of interesting things happening. How are these things augmenting Amaravati Quantum Valley? Could you highlight some of those initiatives, sir?
Thank you, Sridhar Garu. Yeah, it's really exciting to see the pace at which things are moving. You know, from June we did the workshop, and already things are being rolled out. Now, one of the key thing here is the manpower, the workforce, the skilled people development that needs to be done, because this is expected to be a large requirement. And most importantly, the buzz that has been created in terms of the people being aware that this is going to be the future. You know, the Chief Minister has articulated that we have to be the first movers, and we have to create the whole ecosystem. The way whole ecosystem is being created, starting from a policy down to the various infrastructure, to the training programs and so on. And I can tell you, you know, coming from the vantage of heading an academic institution, the state, the way they have send the message across to various institutions that this is important. Now, ASAT along with DST has come up with a curriculum for a quantum minor, where the students do about 5 or 6 courses in quantum, and they get a minor in quantum. And also they have started doing training programs. The main challenge is now train the trainers, the faculty members. You know, how do we train them so that they're able to teach this to the students? And the awareness is so much. Other day I had someone from veterinary college showing up in my office and saying, what do we do about this quantum? You know, we've been, we got these instructions that all of us create awareness and so on. So that's the level of awareness that we're talking about. So through the APSHI, Andhra Pradesh State Council for Higher Education, and others, they have started rolling out this. Andhra University has started a BTech program in quantum technologies this year. We at IITs and IISc, we are always very cautious. We do things only when we are sure we can deliver. We have a lot of courses we teach on quantum technologies. For example, in our undergraduate program, every student, whether it's a civil engineer or a mechanical engineer or a computer science student, has to compulsorily do a course in quantum, which we brought into curriculum 3 years back. So it's not something that it's because of this, because we saw this coming. Similarly, every student has to do a course in AI/ML. It's part of the curriculum that everyone is exposed to this. So that is the level of training. Now our big challenge, the big challenge is where are the teachers to deliver this content? Okay, whether if you're going to offer a minor or if you're going to offer a bachelor's program or a master's program in quantum technology, how do we scale this up fast? And so we're going to be launching a number of faculty development programs across the state in various levels. The APSHI program that they're launching is to create awareness. At IIT Tirupati, we have come up with a curriculum where we will create hands-on people using hands-on training with very focused training, bringing in faculty members who will deliver this. Of course, there are many verticals as already brought out. Quantum computing is probably where the maximum demand is going to be there. But if you have to create the whole ecosystem, we need people with a strong background in the quantum materials and sensing and communication area. For example, at IIT Tirupati, we have a major projects in atomic clocks, as already pointed out, along with Vedugopal Garu is also here from NPL, CSAR. We are working on atomic clocks. Under the National Quantum Mission, we have a pretty big project on quantum communication. It's called a multi-mode quantum repeater network for entanglement distribution-based quantum communication. Part of the IIT Madras hub on quantum communication, a 25 crore initiative that's going to be set up at IIT Tirupati with a lot of hardware-related work. It's not just computing, but a lot of hardware work. So these are all the various initiatives that are going on. In fact, next week, on May 2nd, 3rd, as a part of the Quantum Communication Hub, we are running a 2-day workshop, a hands-on workshop on quantum computing and quantum communication information, where people will be brought in and made to use this software hands-on, not just theoretical work. So a lot of these initiatives we are rolling out. And but one thing that, since the Honorable Minister is here for education, is we need more people in the state going into pure science. You know, the fundamental basis for many of this is pure science, and not many people from Andhra Pradesh are keen on pursuing careers in science. They're keen on pursuing careers in technology and engineering and money-making related initiatives. But when it comes to pure science, to give you an example, we have an ISER, the premier science technology institute in India, IIT. 65% of my students at IIT Tirupati are from Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. 65%. It's a national institution, open competition across 65%. ISER is equivalent to IIT for science. Only 5% of the students are from Andhra Pradesh, okay, in ISER. There are more students coming from Kerala and West Bengal. Between them, they occupy 70% of the seats. They're the only two states that seem to be very passionate about science. Science is absolutely essential. I think we need to create some Actually, if you look at the intermediate level education, I'm told the highest percentage of students studying science in intermediate is in Andhra Pradesh, but not many go into studying science. They all want to. So this, I think, also we need to do if we have to be a very strong top 5 quantum hub in the world. We need to have people coming with a very strong science base. Thank you very much. And
thank you so much, sir. Thank you for highlighting all those things. Dr. Reddy ji is not on our panel, but I'm excited to ask one question. Sir, do you sleep at all? So, yeah, many of the people in this room will watch for Dr. Reddy ji and his speed of execution. So he has put National Quantum Mission in action, and many of your beneficiaries of the National Quantum Mission, and he works at record speed. So I'm not going to ask any questions, sir, but I would request our minister, sir, Sir, Reddy ji is working at express speed, and we have shown that in the last 8 months, we can work at speed much faster than National Quantum Mission, and he's also helping in that one. So, yeah, maybe you can highlight some of the initiatives that are happening, sir, where we will definitely assure them that we can beat them at speed.
all of you like to put me in the spot. I'm here to learn. I should be sitting there. CMO made me sit on this side of the table. But see, the point is, I mean, Mr. Naidu is known for his speed, right? And we are all pretty much ingrained that we are here to deliver. See, the idea, the point that Sir has just said, you know, education is going to be the most fundamental thing, right? That's the gateway into, you know, research or even building the entire ecosystem. Without the most fundamental block, then we are missing. So these are points that we are going to take it up quite seriously. We'll have to encourage our youngsters to look at it. Parallelly, you know, it's important to have panels like this, discussions like this, so we can inspire the youngsters here to look at that this is an opportunity of the future. Because everyone knows, you know, I take computer science, I get a job, or I go into startup ecosystem, but not many know, including me, what is quantum, what does it take? So I think more and more discussion like this will enable us to sort of get the focus into the, and thrust into the sector from an education perspective. From speed, all I can say is we are here to get things as of yesterday, get things done. And I think we have done reasonably good in the last 17 months to where we are today, but I think the foundations have been laid. And now we need to accelerate in terms of our mission. And I look forward to working with Sir here to really look at how Andhra can contribute substantially to India's quantum mission. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
And no more
Thank you
questions
your
for me,
leadership. No, sir.
Please.
No, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your leadership and guidance. Amit ji, yeah, so you are our partner at Amravati Quantum Valley. Again, you are bringing this Atmanirbhar concept into India. So can you highlight some of the things that you are doing in Japan and the model that reflects in India, and also talk about the Quiz-Kit community of India, how we are shaping up?
Definitely. So, you know, Japan has some unique things. They took an aggressive step a few years ago by, you know, being one of the first few countries to bring quantum system on site, working with IBM. Now they are bringing the third one. Okay. So they are actually a good poster child to look at and to learn what is it that they did. One of the big things they did is they really brought the core researchers in Tokyo University, Keio University together with the industry like Mitsubishi Chemicals and others to go deep and to really understand these problems and try to solve, you know, innovate. So that's something definitely is worth understanding and bringing here. But, you know, I think India has some unique advantages that even Japan doesn't have. IBM did this aggressive thing 9 years ago of putting a quantum computer on the cloud and making it available for free to anybody in the world. Even today our quantum computers, we built more than 80 quantum computers and put them on the cloud or deploy them in the systems of different countries. India is the second largest user of these systems. You know, more than 77,000 Indians have learned quantum computing already. Japan doesn't have that, right? So the groundswell and the interest that the citizens have, the learners have, the school students, the college students, the professionals have, is just amazing. And, you know, with Amravati Quantum Valley, with NQM, I think, you know, one simple way I think about it is NQM creating tremendous supply of technology, and Andhra Pradesh is creating the grounds for the demand, right, to bring the demand, the ecosystem. But now, to your point, sir, about accelerating, I think we have to harness all of this to really go deeper, where in different sectors, look at actually how do we bring the different stakeholders like companies, researchers together to become serious about understanding the state of the art, and not just building, you know, theoretically, but to look at the problems that are relevant to Indian industry, Indian governance, and apply these techniques to those problems. And that's what we are hoping. It's very exciting that one of the areas where Andhra Pradesh is looking to start is around algorithms, of course hardware too, but algorithms is a very critical control point. It is where you actually can develop the understanding of how do you make quantum computing useful. And I think that's where India has a big opportunity with this huge interest in the citizens. If we can develop useful applications, that control point allows you to understand what hardware will be useful also and who can use it. So we are very excited and looking forward to being part of this.
Thank you, Amitji. Yeah, I think just a message is coming, so most of you are also hungry. So before your hunger turns into anger, you have to close the session. So we'll continue. So we now move to Mr. Ganesh from Microsoft. So he's leading the quantum, AI stack, and they're working on bringing a AI stack which will augment quantum technologies. So can you highlight some of these things, how there is a symbiotic relationship between quantum and AI?
Absolutely. So thank you. I'm really honored to be part of such distinguished personalities here. And I applaud the Andhra government and the central government for their audacious ambition to bring quantum technology to India, and the speed at which execution has happened, or what I've seen so far, has been impressive. So I work in the space where we try to look at these kinds of technologies and see how AI, quantum, supercomputing, and these kinds of technologies come together to accelerate the pace of scientific discovery, right? And it's very, very important to see how at a subatomic level we actually can use quantum computers to come up with very precise models. You can use quantum computers to train models such that these models can accelerate scientific discovery, right? So building those kinds of models in-house locally will be very critical for drug discovery, material sciences, and a lot of other areas. So we look forward to bringing our software stack, our cloud technologies, and our expertise in AI to essentially help build an end-to-end pipeline of technologies that all come together to solve the problem of scientific discovery or any challenging computational problem that we have today. So I also wanted to, Professor Satyanarayana brought a very important point, right? We are at a very crucial point where technologies like quantum and AI are coming in and are changing the way we work. As a software engineer, we are changing the way we write software. We are not at this point in time allowed to write software. If you ask me, we are supposed to have AI guide us in the journey of writing software. And when you look back and see, when we have a large workforce or a large group of kids graduating from college, what should they be doing next, right? It's learning pure sciences and having that appreciation for real world fundamental problems that require deep expertise is critical, right? And you are, as a computer scientist or whatever, in search of a problem to solve, and having pure science background is really, really critical for the next phase of discoveries to happen. And I'm looking forward to seeing very cool discoveries coming out of all the amazing technologies that are being put together here. Thank you.
Thank you, Ganeshi. And what he's certainly telling is we need not write code. They will write code using Copilot. And then we focus on sciences. So that's the message that is coming from Microsoft. Okay, so we have Vishal. He's fluent from Finland. So Vishalji, you accelerate quantum computers. Can you highlight your vision for Amravati and what are you doing here?
No, absolutely. So first of all, thanks for the opportunity. And what I can also acknowledge, everybody has talked about the speed of execution of the AP government and the whole plans around Amravati. So I can see that. And as they say that people need to walk the talk, everything starts with intent. And by essentially buying, which is arguably the most powerful quantum computer right now from IBM, and then complementing it with the kind of a next one from, and it just shows that the intent is there. You want to come here with a big bang. And on top of that, when you go and see the infrastructure that you're building, so we are all in awe, and now we have to stand up to the next step. So just to briefly introduce ourselves as a company, we spun out of the University of Oxford in 2021. My co-founders were academics, and are academics, and they really were the first ones to come up with the idea that how to use AI and machine learning to accelerate the development of quantum chips. We were able to prove that in a fully automated way, whatever used to take a few weeks to be able to test a quantum chip, now at the press of a button, you can do it in 20 minutes. It was a challenge that was thrown to us by Professor Will Oliver from MIT, who said it's the holy grail to be able to automate 2-qubit gates. And we were able to show it at the beginning of the year. And the benefit of that is that our customers in Taiwan, who used to do about 7 to 8 R&D cycles in a year, are now doing about 300 R&D cycles a year, and they want to move to 2,000 R&D cycles a year. So what that really means is that when it comes to technology, rate of iteration defines the winners. And that's what we want to do here. So, and our goal is that over the next 5 years to build about 100 reference systems, which will be really the core of building all the quantum components from cables to QPUs, from amplifiers, which all need to be built here. And what I'm very delighted to see that as far as the policy objectives are concerned, the strategic objective 7.1A says the living lab infrastructure, AQL will create India's largest open quantum testbed, Q-chip-in, enabling pilots and end-to-end access to quantum hardware and tools and expertise around multiple sectors. I think there's no better way to say what we are going to do at the Amravati Quantum Valley.
Thank you so much, Vishalji. I think you should meet Bhaskarji after this meeting and then get your order. MO is there. It's as of yesterday, sir. Everything will happen. Srinivasji, so you bring a very complementary capability in terms of security aspect to the quantum, and you spent some good amount of time in this space. So is there a aha moment?
Yes. We like the anti-use case of a quantum computer. They're all great use cases I think Mr. Dhar spoke about. The only negative is that it's just going to break all the encryption that we have today very soon. And when I started 9 years ago, I can't think that we created a company to protect us from a quantum computer even before there's a quantum computer. It's been a tough journey for 9 years. We raised, $25 million in 7-8 rounds. One thing I should say is that people say that India doesn't have the ecosystem for deep tech. I quit my job with a private equity firm to start this. Everybody I met along the way has been so supportive. I think Dr. Reddy is right next to you, sir, sitting there. NQM has been such a wonderful, accelerator for something like that. It's unbelievable. We had a lot of discussions with them. We said, which will probably have some lessons for, the quantum valley. One is that, it's not about the money. It's about creating an ecosystem. For example, the best thing that we believe NQM brought to the table was, look, we built a technology for 8 years. We have all the intellectual property that is required, the hardware, the software, and the use cases. Okay? But what we don't have is actually use cases in India. I mean, the difference has been fantastic. We have a big pipeline of projects with difference. We're working with critical infrastructure now. But what we're really looking for is to start rolling this out to the enterprise market. Okay? I mean, that's where we lack as a thing. Just to add one more, 1999, when I was a little younger than I am today, I actually walked around with your chief minister trying to do something called Genome Valley. And if I look back, it's such a great thing that 25 years ago somebody thought about a Genome Valley. Actually, I had the guts to go and announce and do a policy, and you can see what happened there. It's amazing to see. I'm on the Bharat Biotech board. We have IKP. It's like probably one of the best clusters you can get for a biotech. I hope something similar happens in
Absolutely.
Amravati.
You have NQM support, you have AQE policy now, and
yeah,
there's a lot of ecosystem, and your customers are here.
Yeah, particularly for AP, I have 2 or 3 things just as an input. I'm sure I'll talk later to all of us. I don't want to hold back the lunch. See, one was it's about the 2 things gaps I see. This is deep tech is all about money. The funding gap is huge. Okay, we've done with $25 million what some of my competitors elsewhere have done using like $1 billion. Quantum computing is going to be 10 times of that. So you have to think about how to channelize money. I think that's one gap. It's already there. The second thing is that you have to be a user. Like AP can be the first state, for example, to say, all my communication will be quantum safe. Because on one side, you're creating a monster which is just going to break your own encryption. And you're not doing anything about protecting yourself. So I'll stop there, just as 2 inputs.
I can assure you, you have a lot of customers in this room, and AP will also adopt to quantum safe practices very soon.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And there are also many distinguished guests sitting in this forum who are doing some wonderful work. And what Amravati Quantum Valley promises is a great future. And all of you, please, and thank you for joining the mission of Amravati Quantum Valley. And under the leadership of our Honorable IT Minister and NQM. So we are all working together again to make this Amravati Quantum Valley as one of the top 5 global hubs, and we'll all leave it to that vision. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would like to invite Honorable Minister maybe on the stage in front. Maybe we can give the token of appreciation to our panelists. I will be calling the names and we can do the needs. Sir, can you just come forward, please? Dr. J.B.V. Reddy, Mission Director, National Quantum Mission. Can we have a big round of applause, please? Dr. J.B.V. Reddy, Mission Director, National Quantum Mission. Next, we have our session moderator, Mr. Sridhar C.V. Head, India Strategic Initiatives, a CAD coin. TCS also. Dr. K.N. Satyanarayana, Director, IIT Tirupati. We are not hearing your claps, please. Can we have a big round of applause? Dr. J.B.V. Yeah, we have given already. Mr. Devroop Dhar, co-founder and CEO, Primus Partners Private Limited. Mr. Amit Singhi, Director and CTO, IBM. Mr. Robert Morrow, CEO, Pascal. Mr. Srinivas Rao Alluri, Chairman and Co-founder, QNU Labs. Mr. Vishal, Co-founder and CEO, Quantrol OX. And Mr. Ganesh Srinivasan, Partner, STE Manager, Microsoft India Development Center. Can we have a big round of applause for the great panelists and to the Honorable Minister as well. We will be now announcing the MOUs we will be exchanging the MOUs. So this is an opportunity for all of us to witness the exchange of MOU ceremony. And I request Honorable Minister to stay back. So I will be taking the names, and I request only 2 representatives to quickly come on the stage. Yeah. I request all the panelists to please come forward for the photo opportunity, including the Principal Secretary and the Secretary, sir, please. Can we have a group photograph, please? Thank you so much. We are calling Strangeworks Inc., who's providing the foundational quantum software layer and the workflow platform integrating all systems under Q-Chip-IN. Can we just... Strangeworks. Okay, tell me. Strangeworks is it? And then next you said YC. I'll tell. Okay. Strangeworks, can we have you on stage, please? Providing the foundational quantum software layer and workflow platform integrating all systems under Q-Chip-IN. Can we have the MOUs, please? Next we have Cybernex, partnering with AQV to build an AI quantum center of excellence in neuromorphic and cognitive computing. C-Dot. Setting up 250 crore quantum communication COA with QKD and PQC testbeds integrated with IBM Quantum. TACBit Labs, I request them to please come on the stage. Next we have Qubitech, please line up here. Qubitech Smart Solutions Private Limited. I can't hear. Can we have a big round of applause, please? Next we have QMet Private Limited. QMet. Yes. Developing diamond-based NV center quantum magnetometers for GPS denied navigation. This I have given you. Let them do it. मैं वही नाम ले रही हूँ जो आप मुझे दे रहे हैं. Next we have QNU Labs Private Limited. Setting up Quantum Security Academy. Experience Center and Quantum Secure Data Center in Amravati. Can we have anybody from there? Yeah. Delegates, I can't hear the clap. Can we have clap going on? Quindra Venture Studios Private Limited. Q Indra, establishing a quantum and deep tech venture studio and AIF fund to convert innovations into startups and global scale-ups. Next we have Cambridge University, launching the Frugal AI Lab, Amravati in Amravati with AI Sandbox, global programs and support for the 1,000 crore quantum fund. Next we have Visic Networks Private Limited, demonstrating motor control IoT pilots and proposing 10,000 pre-6G sites across Andhra Pradesh. Big round of applause, please. Next we have Centilla Scientific Private Limited, establishing a quantum drug discovery lab using quantum molecular simulation and generative chemistry. Next we have Q Clairvoyance Quantum Labs Private Limited, establishing quantum labs and developing quantum safe communication products with statewide skilling programs. Fortivu Fortu Technology Innovations Private Limited, making Amravati India's quantum safe communication hub with test beds, sandboxes and PQC R&D. Quantum Biosciences Private Limited, launching the Udanam Quantum Sensing Initiative with IISc to solve CKDU using quantum sensing. Quanfluence Private Limited. Can we have a big round of applause, please? Deploying an icing machine in AQV for training, algorithms, and startup university integration. Next, we have DataQ Technologies Private Limited. Data IQ Technologies, right? Yeah. Establishing a 278 crore on chip photonics R&D and fabrication center for quantum photonic chips and QKD systems. Next we have QAIG Private Limited. QAIG, are they here?